What's up, guys? For today's video, I'm doing a no-drill installation using a stern pad. I've heard a lot of great things about this product, so I'm really eager to give it a try and see how it works. Stay tuned to the end of this video where I give some first impressions after having it out on the water. Let's get started. Alright, so with the transducer cable routed along the side of the boat, behind the sidewall here, under the back deck, and then out the rear of the boat here, we can go ahead and get our transducer set up for installation. Now, for installation of the transducer, I'm going to be using this 3M stern pad. This is a pretty cool product. Basically, you stick this to the back of your transom, and then you install your transducer to the pad rather than drilling into your boat. In the last boat, I actually just drilled right into the transom. I didn't have any specific issues with that, but this was something that I've heard a lot about, so I wanted to give it a try. First thing I want to do is get the transducer bracket built and then the transducer ready for mounting. Once this is ready to get screwed on, then I can work on getting the stern pad set up. Basically for this, we're going to be cleaning the area with some isopropyl alcohol. Then once this is prepped, get this stuck on and then get everything drilled in. All right, so let's take a look at how we build the transducer mounting bracket. This is the mounting bracket that is going to be mounted onto your boat. And then this is your trolling motor mount, which is going to get attached to the bracket here. And then this is how you can adjust the angle of your transducer to make sure it's sitting level with the water once you're actually in the water. Hardware, this bolt is going to go across the back here to attach the bracket to the mount. All right, now once you have everything out of the bag, it looks a lot less intimidating. As I said, this is going to get mounted onto the bracket here. And then this is going to get attached to your transom, and the transducer is going to attach to the bottom of the bracket here. Oh, that's probably what these 4 screws are for here. So just real quick, all I wanted to make sure with the stern pad is that it's going to fit in the position we want it to. So I'm going to be mounting it vertically like this to save space. First thing, it definitely fits the transducer, so that's great. And then back here, it fits perfectly in the area. So we'll get to the stern pad in a moment. For now, let's go ahead and put this to the side and get our transducer bracket ready. Okay, so to get started, let's go ahead and attach the transducer to the bottom mounting plate. Now this is the, I think, GT54 transducer. It's the one that comes with the Echo Map. All right, so now we're going to take our bracket and it's going to go on the rounded end of the transducer. And you're going to see it's going to kind of slot into place, and then all of the mounting holes are going to line up. Each one of these screws is going to get one of these grip washers here. So I'll go ahead and put these all in the holes. Now we can start attaching our screws. So next, we're going to go ahead and get our cable. It's going to come up and get routed into the top of the bracket here as a holder. And then this is going to attach onto the bracket. Now there's grooves here. Once you line up the grooves, it'll kind of click into place. There we go. And now this is how you're going to also adjust the angle of the transducer as it's attached to your transom. So as it sits right now, it's kind of pointed down a little bit. Ideally, you want it pointed up slightly. So when you're sitting in the boat, how the boats are usually tilted, back a little bit, you want this to be sitting level with the water while the boat is tilted. To install this together, rubber washer, followed by a metal washer, followed by our bolt, and then a lock nut on the other side. Now this can be tightened and loosened here as needed to adjust the angle. So right now this locks that angle in place, but if we loosen this up, we'll be able to adjust the angle. Okay, so at this point, your transducer bracket is built. This is ready to get installed on your transom now. Before we pull the back off here and get this stuck to the boat, I want to go ahead and clean up the area first. Stern pad comes with a couple little accessories here. We have an alcohol prep pad. Looks like some wire routing cables, which is cool. Actually, these are actually really nice because they are also 3M. And then a scouring pad to help clean up the area. So basically, we just have to clean our area, get this stuck on, and then we got to find some screws that are going to work to mount this up. Okay, so small change of plans. Basically, this does not sit flat against the transom and it's not making a good connection. I even tried drilling a small hole where the rivet was so it sat flat, including the rivet. But even with that, the transom right here is actually bowed a little bit in some way, where I was getting a decent connection over here, but over here it wasn't even like making contact. So unfortunately, this spot is just not gonna work. So instead what I'm gonna do is move the mounting pad to my aluminum bracket over here. This way, I know this is a nice clean piece of aluminum. I know that it's nice and flat and it doesn't interfere with the outboard. I am gonna go ahead and get this area prepped and the stern pad applied to this area of the riser here, and then just continue forward with everything we were doing. Now using that Scotch-Brite pad, turn this aluminum into a nice brushed look. This is gonna have a really good grip on that adhesive now. Okay, since I had this on and off the transom a couple times, I went ahead and applied some new 3M tape to this. This is the same VHB tape that was on it. So I'm gonna get this peeled off, stuck on, we can continue the install. Okay, so same thing. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and apply pressure with this for about 15-20 seconds, make sure we get a good solid connection, and then we'll install the transducer. Okay, so this VHB tape, which stands for very high bond, is no joke. This thing is on there. I couldn't rip this off with my hands if I wanted to. Much better connection. This I was able to pull on and off with my hand. This is not going anywhere. This is what you want. If you're able to physically pull the pad off your boat, you did it wrong, or the surface isn't gonna work for it. All right, so now we can start taking a look at the transducer mounting. Now, even though the pad isn't flush with the bottom of the boat, we still want the transducer to be. Basically, if we mount this towards the bottom of the stern pad here, that's gonna put us almost perfectly flush. So with our flat edge in place, go ahead and rest the bottom of the transducer here. That gets to the bottom of the transducer, level with the bottom of the boat. I'm putting the screw hole right in the middle. That way we're able to adjust this up and down as we need. Okay, putting the second screw in now. I want this to be level with the first screw. That way we're able to raise the transducer up and down as we need. Yeah, okay. So at this point, the transducer is essentially installed. I am gonna go ahead and tighten down the mounting screws now. Like I said, I'm doing this by hand to make sure we're not stripping anything out. I would recommend doing this even on directly through the transom. This thing is rock solid now. I am really happy with that. So now our cable can get routed. This is actually gonna work out pretty cool doing it on the jack plate here, because now I have a really nice way to route my cabling. So it's very unintrusive and out of the way. So now we have a transducer cable. This can come right up the side of the jack plate into the boat. I am gonna try out the included 3M cable clips here, just to see if we can keep this all nice and tidy without drilling any more holes into the boat. Okay, with the transducer cable very nicely routed, the transducer mounted to the back of the boat. I was actually reviewing the instructions while looking at something else, and it says you want to mount your transducer as close to the center of the boat as possible. So this is actually a really good location for how this all worked out. All right, well, if you guys found this helpful, don't forget to let me know by hitting that like button. If you want to see what's coming up for the John boat, don't forget to subscribe. If you have any questions about what I did today, feel free to drop a comment below. All the products I used and purchased are going to be in the description if you guys want to check them out. That stern pad, really awesome. I'm glad I went that route. As long as it sticks, which I can't see it not, that's going to be a great way to handle your transducer install. I always try to give you guys honest reviews so you don't waste your money on something that's not going to work. So like I said, don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching. All right, well, at this point, it's been about 2 months since I've had this installed. I've had the boat out on the water multiple times. The transducer has been working absolutely perfect. It is still extremely solid. This stern pad is still not going anywhere. This 3M tape is just ridiculously strong. So if you guys are interested in doing the stern pad, I don't have any hesitation. The only thing you're going to make sure you do is that you install it to a flat surface. Like I had referenced earlier in the video, this area over here had too many dents and waves in it. While it doesn't really look like that on the surface, when you try to apply something flat to it, it just was not getting a good connection. As soon as I added to the jack plate there, it has been absolutely solid. So no worries on the stern pad. I'm happy to report that it has worked just fine.